Let's get into this debate now with Congressman Keith Ellison of Minnesota, the first Muslim elected to Congress. Also from West Babylon, New York, Congressman Peter King. Thank you both for joining us this morning. And Congressman King, let me begin with you. And the last voice that was in Dan's piece said that this mosque has nothing to do with the kind of Islam perpetrated on 9/11. Why can't it be seen as a repudiation of the radical, violent Islam expressed on 9/11 and a validation of our own values?
Well, George, I represent so many people who lost family members on September 11th, and to them, and I believe rightly so, this is looked upon as just like an intimidating presence. There's a 13-story, $100 million building they're proposing, and to have it that close to ground zero just strikes them as being extremely insensitive and uncaring. And as far as the mosque itself, I mean, I have Muslim leaders in my district who do say good things about this imam, but the fact is, George, he was on television after September 11th talking about the US being an accessory to 9/11. He has, to this day, refused to say whether Hamas is a terrorist organization. And so, yeah, and there's also other issues. He won't say where the $100 million is going to come from, where he intends to raise it. And this is the wrong place, the wrong time. I think the president missed the opportunity to create a teachable moment, to say, yes, the Muslim community has the absolute right to construct this mosque. But they should also take into account the feelings of those who aggrieved and have meetings, set up meetings and try to find another location. That would do more to bring about interfaith harmony than anything. I mean, Keith Ellison and I can talk on the floor of Congress. So this is not something that has to go on forever. I think it's a moment that the president missed an opportunity.
Well, let me get a response from Congressman Ellison, because the president did not address the wisdom of building this mosque. But a lot of commentators have looked at this and said perhaps those who want this mosque to go forward should follow the example of Pope John Paul II, who, when a couple of nuns wanted to create a convent at Auschwitz, he said, no, 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 no. That is the place for Jews around the world. For them, that is a sacred place. So pull back. Why wouldn't that be the right thing here?
Well, it's directly inapplicable, that particular example. Every school kid knows that the Pilgrims came to America for religious liberty. They came here to worship as they see fit. And so if a group of religious adherents can be stopped from building a house of worship, then that will be a suffering blow for religious liberty in our country. It'll be a setback for the idea that you can worship as you see fit in America. Now, that is a deeply rooted and important American value, and I don't think we should compromise on it. That's not the kind of Constitution that the framers wrote. That's not what Mr. Jefferson had in mind. And so I would hope that Representative King and I could come together and agree that this idea of religious liberty is too important to compromise. And if you don't let this Islamic Community Center go forward here, why would people around the country say that a house of worship should go forward anywhere? Why not just raise a fuss and raise a ruckus and intimidate these people from being able to set up a house of worship in any local community? You can always say, well, this is not the right time, this is not the right place, but, you know, Martin Luther King said, you know, you can't put your timeline on somebody else's freedom. And the fact is that I think that these community meetings that Representative King has talked about probably should go forward, but the idea that the organizers of the Islamic Center can't build this structure, it would be a real problem and would be a setback for liberty.
Congressman King?
You know, with every right there's responsibility, and to me the responsibility here is for the Muslim leadership to realize the tremendous hurt, the tremendous insensitivity, the anguish this is causing to so many people, and to have such a large structure within 2 blocks of ground zero just sends exactly the wrong signal. If we really do want to build bridges, if we really do want to bring communities together, this is entirely the wrong way to do it. No, the Muslim community has the right to do it, but I think the responsible thing to do is to move it away, which is, again, I think the Auschwitz example is applicable here, because many Catholics are also killed during the Holocaust. But the fact is that was largely the Holocaust. We think of it as being Jews being killed, more than 6 million Jews, the inexplicable suffering they had. That's why the Pope asked the nuns to move that convent away from Auschwitz. I think it's the same here. To have that symbol there is just causes so much anguish.
But Congressman Ellison, let me let you get the last word. This is at its heart, though, at first a local issue. The president kicked it up into a national issue with his comments on Friday. I know you support what the president said, but hasn't he put a lot of your fellow Democrats on the ballot this year in a difficult position?
Absolutely not. But the truth is that, you know, we're a party of principle. We believe in the idea of religious liberty. But there's also a more important principle at work here, and that is that the transnational terrorists who committed this outrageous act on 9/11, they are arguing that America's at war with Islam. The way to undermine and counteract that false narrative is to stand on our sacredly held beliefs of religious liberty. That's how we demonstrate that, no, America is a country that is for everyone, where people worship as they see fit. The problem with stopping this Islamic Center is that it implies that the Muslim world is responsible for it when Al-Qaeda is responsible.
That is going to have to be the last word today. Congressman Ellison, Congressman King, thank you very much. Obviously, a deep debate. Thank you very much.